Hi, Scruffy. Ready for dinner? So I have, I'm not sure, what is it? It's the super supper, I think? No, it's a fish and whitefish. Meaty pate. And of course your kibble. So I hope Scruffy enjoyed his steak last night. He's not going to get that for a long time, if ever. So yeah, he was really skittish yesterday. Okay, yeah, he's not hissing now. So last night, yeah, he was ducking kind of like that. And then every time I stroked him, he'd hiss. So I presumed it was because he was thrown off by me needing to start the barbecue. But I've done that before, and he wasn't nearly as freaked out as last night. He's acting a little weird. He's kind of avoiding the pets. He gets close. I think he only wants very gentle strokes right now. Usually he's pushing into it. Okay, now he's pushing in all the harder. Yeah, Scruffy's behaving a little differently tonight. Not sure why. Maybe getting too much food last night. So yeah, after I stopped filming, after dinner, I cooked my steak on the barbecue, and I had to keep going in and out of the house. And Scruffy, instead of leaving like he normally does, he decided to sit next to the door here. And he'd even sit next to the door when I was out here. Oops, okay, I thought he was going to strike there. Yeah, he was sitting next to the door even when I was out on the deck barbecuing. So I'd go out to the barbecue, and then he'd sit here next to the door, and then I'd need to go back into the house, and he'd see me come, and then he'd run away, usually behind the table. I'd go in the house, I'd get some stuff, he'd come back to the door and sit there. And then when I come back out to go back to the barbecue, he runs away, usually behind the table again. And I go to the barbecue, and then he comes back to the door. And we repeat that over and over and over again. I think he meowed every time I'd come out or approach, but he'd run away, and then I think he'd also hiss. So I'm not sure what Scruffy was thinking. That was weird that he'd sit next to the door even when I'm out next to the barbecue. It seemed like if he had any interest, he'd come a little closer and watch me at the barbecue. But I don't know, maybe he thinks the door is magical or something. So it's probably cooking the steak for about 20 minutes, probably a little less than that. The steak actually cooked pretty fast. I spent most of my time just trying to tend to the barbecue and keep tabs on the temperature in the steak. So I brought out my thermometer. So as I mentioned, the steak is okay, but yeah, I think it was a little freezer burned, so it wasn't as tender and moist as it probably should have been. But yeah, all in all, it was a good steak. But yeah, it's been better, and I don't think it was. I don't think I miscooked it or anything. I think I cooked it about right. So I think most of the problem was it was just in the freezer too long. Because I think I remember this pack of steaks, and I remember it tasting a lot better, or yeah, being a lot juicier, a lot more moist, or yeah, whatever the correct adjective is. But yeah, I think this one was a function of just being frozen too long. But it came out better than the last steak I did. The last steak I did, was, I think, really freezer burn. It was long past due. So, since Scruffy was waiting here for so long, and actually he kept waiting even after I went in, finished barbecuing, and ate my dinner. So I was planning to come back out here, so I didn't close up everything because I needed to put the barbecue away. And when I finally came back out to clean up, Scruffy was still here, sitting next to the door. So I wasn't planning on feeding him more since he was so hissy last night. But yeah, since he was kind of hanging around the whole time, took pity on him. So I decided to give him a little bit of my steak. I gave him the driest parts, but it's still edible. It's still good. It's just yeah. If Scruffy hadn't been here, I would have eaten it. But since Scruffy was here, so okay, I'll give him a little bit of my steak. Not the best parts, but I'll give him a little bit of my steak. That's probably the most expensive food Scruffy's. No, I'm sure that's the most expensive food Scruffy's ever eaten. That's probably the best food he's ever eaten. Though I don't know his taste. He seems to like smelly fish, so I don't think that's particularly good food. But this one's actually cooked on the barbecue. Wasn't raw. Good cut of meat. So yeah, I also grilled some onions. And had a problem where they kept falling into the barbecue. So I had trouble managing them. So I cut slices, so they're basically onion rings, but all the inner rings kept slipping through, falling apart, and falling into the grill. But yeah, the onion rings actually came out really really good. They're I think they're about just right. So Definitely caramelizing. So Scruffy's ready, huh? Is that what the meow was about? Want your food? Okay, let's get your food. Flies are swarming the food. So let's see. Yeah, I saw Scruffy this morning on the table again, sleeping. Actually, yeah, I didn't catch it last night, but let's see. I think it was right after I went back inside after I finished cleaning up the barbecue, and I think it was actually after I gave him the steak too. He jumped back on the table and he was sniffing around the table, I think, for more food. And he was looking at the treat bag, and he kind of circled the whole table looking for more food. And then he saw me looking at him through the window, and then after he didn't find anything on the table, he jumped off. I'm not sure if he expected me to come back out, but I wasn't planning on coming out again since I just gave him steak. So let's see. Then today at lunch, I was a little late, but yeah, he was waiting. I think here he seemed to be. So he was awake when I opened the blinds. I think I'm not sure if I woke him up or if he was already awake, but yeah, he probably wanted his water, so I came out. He backed up and then waited for me to back away from the water. I was kind of in a hurry today, so I didn't really play the waiting game with him. So went back in and let him drink. He actually started drinking before I went all the way in. I went back to the door, and then I let him approach the bowl, and then as he started drinking, I went all the way in. And then, let's see, later this afternoon, he was back on the table sleeping next to the sun oven. So yeah, it was actually a nice day today. The weather was probably just right. So, not hot, very comfortable. It would have been a really good day for a bike ride or maybe even a run. But yeah, since I went for a run yesterday, and I've been biking and running, I think the past 4 days at least, if not more, straight without a break. Yeah, my body really kind of needed a break today. I was thinking I might go out, and then my legs were just really tired, and so man, I better not. I better take a rest day, a recovery day. So I've been needing to get groceries, so I decided to go grocery shopping. So that's why I needed to get moving instead of hanging around at lunch. So I went to the closer Costco today, and yeah, it's a mixed bag of things and prices. So on one hand, yeah, so the prices I think had at least stabilized. I didn't notice for the most part them going up any more than they have. But on the other hand, there were a lot of missing things. With a couple notable exceptions in both cases. So as far as things I wasn't able to get, so yeah, they had no spinach today. I take that back. They didn't have any pre-washed spinach. They had the unwashed spinach, but yeah, I tried buying that before, and it was such a pain in the butt to wash. I decided I'm not buying that anymore. Because you gotta basically dry it after you finish washing, and then yeah, I have. So one, it's really hard to wash. If you have like one of those those little plastic things you can spin them to wash vegetables, where you spin it and the centrifugal force separates the water out. If you have one of those, it's probably not so bad. I don't have one of those. And so I was using tons of paper towel to dry off the spinach last time I tried it. And I probably wasted a lot of money on how many paper towels I wasted trying to dry the spinach. And I decided, yeah, it's not worth it. I'd rather pay extra for the pre-washed spinach, because it probably saves me money in the end, because I don't need to waste as many paper towels. So anyway, no spinach. They did have bok choy this time, but no spinach. So they had very little, but yeah, I did grab one. Fortunately, they did have broccoli, so to compensate for the spinach, I bought more broccoli. Let's see. I think they had a different brand of whipped cream. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be buying this stuff, but yeah, I had a craving for whipped cream, and yeah, they had a different brand today. On the other side of things, oh yeah, no apples. They had plenty of bananas today though. But yeah, on the surprising things, I'm gonna move balls. So I think ground beef did drop in price a little bit. Still expensive, but yeah, it came down a little bit. And then they also finally had some chicken thighs. They've been out the last few times I've been there. I was actually really tempted to buy some. I think the price was stable. It didn't look like it changed any. But since I can't, so yeah, I've been talking about getting another freezer, and because my freezer died, and I've been trying to live without the freezer for probably a year now, and I'm sick of it. So I want to get a freezer. But yeah, they're sold out of freezers. I can't get a freezer. So until I get a freezer, I don't want to buy any more meat. If I can put it off. So I'm hoping that I can get the freezer and then get the chicken thighs. I've got eggs, got milk. I think there are a few other things I was looking for which they didn't have. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. And then I've also been waiting for other things to go on sale. They're not going on sale. So I've been waiting, I think, over a year now. Usually they go on sale within like in about a year at the most. But yeah, ever since the lockdowns, everything's been all screwed up. Scruffy's not walking away. So I think I want to go in though. So I'm going to start moving. I didn't even move yet. You could tell I was just thinking about moving when he's leaving. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.